My initial response to this pandemic and the coronavirus was, wow, these are unprecedented times. This is like uncharted territory. How are we gonna continue to work, move forward?
My family and I, we automatically went into prayer. It was pretty shocking to see how it was almost like a ripple effect, how one thing happened after another. You saw schools shutting down, then national sports, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a huge basketball, football fan, so when I saw, them shut the whole NBA down, I knew this was real.
Of course, when the buildings were shut down, we had to let half of our staff go, so there were 52 people got laid off, and everyone else in the organization went on a furlough situation with a decreased income.
Like most companies and people, we all thought, 2 weeks, no big deal. We can survive 2 weeks like a mini vacation, kids will be home. And then they said, well, there'll be no school indefinitely. Now it's through the rest of the year. And then same with business. It's been 6 to 8 weeks now, and there's still no end in sight.
At first it was just confusion and uncertainty. It's just what's going on. And then seeing countries being shut down, a certain amount of fear, because you always think that people must know what's going on, right? If they're shutting down countries. Then America was shut down, and then I'm like, oh dang, it must be serious, right?
Yeah, I think the first thing is just shock of, one, we kind of saw what was happening outside of the US, and it was so distant and far off, and we thought, it can't happen to us, but then, of course it did. Trying to take it all in and really figure out what it means, and I think we're all still trying to do that. I'm trying to do that.
I took a time to call the different pastors in their church, and we had a conference and talked about what we should do for emergency, for not only for the 300 members in the congregation, but also for the community. We pulled resources together, and then I personally went and called people that I was concerned about, the more target audience, the older and the more feeble type of people, to make sure that they were able to take care of themselves.
I had just, the weekend before we shut down, hosted a wildly busy 2-day open house, and all I kept thinking was, I am going down. I interfaced and shook hands and said hello to many, many people, and so yeah, there was part of me that was just a little panicked. I was starting to then reflect back on the 2008 to 2011 timeline with this business and how very scary that was. So yeah, I definitely went through a major time of PTSD, thinking about, oh God, am I gonna be able to pay my mortgage? What about my people? Am I ever gonna sell a house again? And really being hyper-focused on watching the market and seeing what the stats were doing.
None of us really knew how serious it was, but as soon as they did the stay-home order, I think that really hit home for all of us when we realized a lot of businesses are going to shut their doors. A lot of people aren't able to work. So there were a lot of just initial fears that happened. But as a business owner, you have to learn to look past just the initial fear and start thinking innovatively of how can we survive this? What can we do to move past this and not have to shut our doors forever?